Today's story, which Bashgacha Pratis, I'm realizing is connected to what we just learned. Rabbi relates, he remembers a story that happened. Yeah. Friends, you can make the transition between the learning and the story. We need to take a meditative moment. We should talk. But since the story elaborates what we just learned, so we can go seamlessly. So Rabbi relates, I remember a story that happened in the early years of the Rebbe's Nesias. It happened once on Erev Shavuos that one of the Bachrim in 770 was traveling. I think I once heard who this was, but I don't remember. Was traveling in the subway very late at night. This is in the 50s, friends. And he sat next to a young fella that appeared to him to be Jewish. So the Bachrim begins a conversation. And in the course of the conversation, this fella, this young guy, tells him, you can wish me congratulations because I'm getting married next week. So Al-Bacha, says Rabbi, inquires, more about the impending wedding, and the one with whom he's conversing tells him that he's going to marry a Goya, a non-Jew, and it's going to be, in fact, in the church, next week. So the Bacher understood he's got to do something immediate. This is what pops into his head. He said, before a person takes such a big step in life to get married, he should get a blessing from a rabbi. Come with me to a big rabbi that will give you a bracha, a blessing. That's what the Bacher said to him. So this young fella argues back, no rabbi would give me a blessing for this. He's marrying out. But the Bacher says, doesn't give up and says, we're talking about a rabbi that is very open-minded. He'll give a bracha. So the end was, he convinced him and he brings him to 770. This was now midnight. The Bacher approaches, this is the early 50s, Mamash, the very beginning. So the Bacher approaches the Rebbe's room and knocks lightly on the door. After a few moments, the Rebbe opens it. It wasn't the Yechidus night. And the Bacher says in English, seems the fellow standing with him, that he brought with him a Jew who was going to get married. And the Bacher walks away, and there was a word for it. Somebody had a conversation with what's the word? There's a word for it in English. Anyway, he left him there. So the young man enters, the fellow that he met enters the Rebbe's holy room. The Bacher waits outside. This was midnight. At 6 o'clock in the morning, the door opens. This young Jew comes out, his eyes are red, crying. The Rebbe turns to the Bacher and says, take him to the mikveh and put on film with him. Rabbi says you can understand that he didn't get married. And it seems that the mikveh was because he'd already accepted upon himself to get married in the church, so they want him to go to the mikveh. End of story. Rabbi's comment is, the moifis in this story is that the Bacher, it occurred to him, the way it occurred to the Bacher to say what he said to convince this fellow to come to the Rebbe. Convince me he's got an open mind and he'll give you up. I mean, that's the moifis, that this is what he popped into his head. Of course, we see it's Erev Shavuos. And the Rebbe is spending 6 hours with this Yid to save him, Rahman Litzlan, from marrying out. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Bracha v'atzlacha.